What is going on, guys? Once again, Michael or Legacy Kill HD back, and today's already been a huge day with Bethesda Game Studios finally unveiling their next game, which is Fallout 76. If you missed my past video on that, we broke down the trailer. There was a lot of information involving the location, the setting, and a couple of other things, so make sure to check that video out if you missed it. But nonetheless, we need to go over some new information that is popping up, and there's been some leaks that unfortunately don't really look that great in my opinion. Now first, I want to move back to Jason Schreier, the news editor at Kotaku. He's leaked a lot of Fallout stuff in the past, and he's continued doing so with Fallout 76. And if you missed my past video, we discussed him mentioning that Fallout 76 is an online game of some sorts. And he's elaborated some of his comments since, saying that it is not an MMO, but it's strictly not a single player only game that we've become used to with Bethesda. Now he wrote a couple hours ago saying, "I'm seeing some skepticism on Reddit and Twitch about my reporting that Fallout 76 is an online game because they don't want to believe it, but again, if you spend weeks getting hyped for a single player RPG, you will be disappointed. Just looking out for you guys." Last second update, there's been some more information coming from Jason Schreier of Kotaku, and he's now outlined everything that he's heard about Fallout 76, and he says it's an online survival RPG. There's some more information within this video we'll discuss in just a minute. You'll hear me talk about, which backs all of this up. This is some more leaks that came out a while ago. Now, Jason says that Fallout 76 is in fact an online survival RPG that's heavily inspired by games like DayZ and Rust, according to 3 people familiar with the project. He also continues confirming that Fallout 76 isn't an experimental new entry in the long-running post-apocalyptic series, and the game was originally prototyped as a multiplayer version of Fallout 4 with the goal of envisioning what an online Fallout game might look like. Fallout 76 has evolved quite a bit over the past few years, those sources said. It will have quest and story like any other game from Bethesda Game Studios. It will also feature base building just like 2015's Fallout 4 and other survival-based and multiplayer mechanics. One source cautioned that the gameplay is rapidly changing like it does in many online service games. But that for the most part is what Jason Schreier is reporting, and I gotta say, I am a little bit worried. But anyway, let's continue on with the rest of the video. So I have to say, I always imagined Fallout Online or some sort of Fallout multiplayer coming to fruition. I just never thought Bethesda Game Studios would work on this. I thought a third-party developer or somebody like ZeniMax Online Studios would be working on this. But maybe the fact that Bethesda turned Battlecry Studios, the multiplayer experts, into Bethesda Game Studios Austin should have been our first sign. And it's starting to look more and more like this is going to be an online player versus player game. Now previously in this video I mentioned there was some new information that had emerged, and it's not just coming from Jason Schreier. There are some past leaks that are being dug up because they seem to be accurate now. The following information comes from 4chan from an anonymous user, and I'm going to start with his comments that were all the way back in December of 2017, where he said Bethesda Game Studios' next title was Fallout 76, a Fallout-themed Rust clone coming soon. And as you can tell just by my tone, I'm not exactly very excited about that because that's not the game that most of us want to see coming from Bethesda Game Studios. Obviously, I'm holding my complete judgment until we actually see this game in action because the teaser trailer didn't show much of what gameplay will be like. Now, this leaker on that same day also posted some other information saying, hey, want some actual insider information? No Elder Scrolls in development because ESO is doing really effing well, which is true. It's been bringing in a lot of money, even though a lot of us don't like it or play it. Multiplayer Fallout is in development, which is Fallout 76, and Starfield is in development but years away. And there's been some new information about that too. Some Reset Era forum admins have been elaborating, saying yeah, Starfield is coming, but it's not coming this year, which it sounds like it's that second middle game that we've all been trying to figure out what it could be. We all thought Starfield was coming this year or next year, but now it's looking like Starfield is actually the second game before the Elder Scrolls 6 comes after that. But continuing on, this leaker would say just this May, FFI know it's going to be at E3 2018. It's called Fallout 76. I heard about it over the holidays. so it might have been canned. And that was obviously all the way back in December when he originally wrote about it. And then he also elaborated his comments just the other day, saying figuratively, yeah, it's called Fallout 76 and the map is set alongside an interstate highway. Don't know much other than that. Now we know the game is set in West Virginia, we can tell that from the trailer song, which mentions West Virginia. There's also some other locations mentioned within that song, so it looks like it's going to be taking place in both Virginia and West Virginia, and I guess some interstate highway is something that it's going to be set alongside. So I quickly want to actually go back to the first trailer and bring up this one scene which could give us hints to what Bethesda Game Studios is planning with this game.
And the fallout is settled. You must rebuild.
So yeah, we get a mention at rebuilding the world. That's the mission with Vault 76. We see the big celebration with Reclamation Day, which means they're entering the wasteland to help rebuild it. And this kind of makes me think that settlement building's going to be expanded in some fashion. We know the game takes place 2102. I think it's October 27th, 2102, I should say specifically. And they're entering into the wasteland, the first vault to explore the nuclear devastated world, and it's going to be interesting how this all plays out, and if this is an online player versus player, I just really have my worries about this project. So before I end this video, I do want to mention take all leaks with a grain of salt, but I will add the fact that this individual on 4chan knew the name of Bethesda Game Studios' next title 6 months before it was actually going to be announced makes me believe that his information that he heard or was told is accurate. And obviously in early May he thought that maybe there's a chance that it did get canned, but obviously on May 29th when he posted last, it seems that he knew based on that teaser that it was Fallout 76. As I mentioned earlier, we all knew that Bethesda wanted to bring more live services to their games, and bringing it to Fallout does make sense. Although right now I am very curious how much this is going to impact the single player side of Fallout 76, if it even is part of the game, which I just can't believe Bethesda would pop up on the E3 stage and say, yeah, Fallout 76 is an online only game. That makes no sense. There has to be a single player to this game, but we're gonna have to wait 10-11 days for that. Anyway guys, what do you make of this leak? Let me know down in the comment section below. I gotta say, I am not exactly very excited for this, at least yet. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.